Hi everybody, I'm dekutony, and this is part 2 of my Nintendo Switch online wishlist thing. This time around, instead of covering NES and Super Nintendo, I will be covering Nintendo 64. 10 games, in fact. But before we do that, I must say, I can't believe Jelly Boy of all games managed to get into the service first before Earthbound or Star Tropics 2. Like, what? What even is life? I guess considering I have one more free spot now, I guess instead of asking for Jelly Boy, I will ask for Jelly Boy 2, the cancelled Jelly Boy 2. Even though it has nothing to do with the original Jelly Boy, and this cancelled sequel to Smart Ball, which was called Jerry Boy in Japan, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting too sidetracked. Anyways, Nintendo 64. Nintendo just revealed in the newest Nintendo Direct that they will be adding Nintendo 64 games to the service. So, without further ado, let's begin the list. Let's begin the list with one of my favorite games, Diddy Kong Racing. Now, one of the many surprises on the newest Direct was the fact that Banjo-Kazooie is coming to the service. Like, I did not expect that to happen, but it did. And I even have a Banjo-Kazooie cartridge. I managed to get one earlier this year. So, considering there are rare games coming to this service, let's start with one of the most wanted ones, Diddy Kong Racing. Now, it's a really awesome racing game. It's one of the best racing games ever made, and besides the DS remake, it has never been re-released. There has never been an official re-release of the N64 game, so there's no better time than now to finally give us this game. Now, game number 2 would be Mischief Makers. Now, Mischief Makers is a game that used the D-pad almost exclusively, but it's a really interesting, unique game by Treasure of Gunstar Heroes fame, and I think it's currently owned by Square Enix, and they have done absolutely nothing with this game, so they should do something with it and put it on Nintendo Switch Online. Besides the fact that it has never been re-released, it's also a lot of people really want the game to see some sort of re-release, like any kind of love from Square Enix. This will be a good way of doing that, I think. Now, game number 3. That game would be Pilot Wings 64, aka a game that Nintendo refuses to re-release for some reason. Also, aka the last game that had any sort of reference to Star Tropics, long before the new Animal Crossing for the Switch. I have no idea why this game has never had a re-release. Like, what, what's the issue here? Is it because of the main character looking a lot like Nestor? Is it because you hate R&D free developed games? Like Star Tropics 2, hashtag Justice for Star Tropics 2, hashtag Keep Japan Star Tropics. But anyways, this game deserves, it desperately needs a re-release, and there's no better time than now to finally give us Pilot Wing 64. Like, come on Nintendo, I don't think you have any excuses. Like ever since the Wii, basically. Game number 4 would be Space Station Silicon Valley. Now this game is really interesting because, for one, it was made by DMA Design, now known as Rockstar Games. And just like many of the games on this list, this game has never been re-released. It would be really cool if it was, like, right now on this service that you have to pay extra money for. And the other interesting thing about this game is that it is literally impossible to 100% complete it. There's a bug in the game that there's this one collectible that you cannot collect no matter what you do. So it will be really nice if somehow they finally patch that and finally let us complete the game without cheats. So come on, it wouldn't be that difficult, I think. Game number 5 would be Glover. Remember Glover? The game has its issues, but I still think it's a pretty charming game. And despite what I think about the people who currently own the publishing rights for this game, I think Glover deserves some more love. And there's no better way to finally get the respect it deserves by putting it on Nintendo Switch Online. That's how it works, right? Game number 6, Bomberman 64. Now, this is one of the games on this list that I have a lot of nostalgia for. I played a lot of the multiplayer back when I was a kid. So, online multiplayer Bomberman 64 will be awesome. You're just saying, Nintendo, just put that game in. And even though I never really understood the campaign that much, it's still kind of fun, you know. As a matter of fact, I kind of prefer the original Bomberman 64 over the sequels that were released right after it. That's just my opinion though. Game number 7, Chameleon Twist. Do you know Chameleon Twist? It's a short yet kind of very charming little game when this random chameleon turns into some sort of humanoid-like thing, and then does some platforming and some interesting tongue gimmicks for some reason. I enjoy the game. I like it. Put it on the service, Nintendo. Game number 8, I think it would be Snowboard Kids. Do you remember Snowboard Kids? I'm counting 1 and 2 for this, so I'm kinda cheating a little bit. Snowboard Kids is an interesting racing game, but with snowboarding. I think I remember it more than 1080 snowboarding. simply because of how weird the characters are and how weird some of the things in the game are. But I still kind of fondly remember the games. I think it would be really cool that they finally re-release those games, you know. Now game number 9? I think it's game number 9. I lost count here. Let's see, I have a long list here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Excitebike 64, and I guess also Wave Race 64, since they're kind of similar-ish. Excitebike 64 in particular, I'm much more familiar with. I remember being really bad at it. I still fondly remember it, like the multiplayer, like the map creator that required the memory pack that I never had. The fact that it had the original Excitebike inside of the game itself. I don't know, I really liked that game. And game number 10 is, of course, the original Super Smash Brothers for the N64. Now, I really don't understand why they started refusing to re-release the game after the Wii. Like, I know they were going to put the game on the Wii U if the unused data on Smash for Wii U isn't enough of an indication that was going to be the case. But I have no idea. I don't think it would be that hard to license everything in that game, so I don't know why it hasn't been re-released in a long time. But there's no better time than now to give us Smash 64 online officially. That would be awesome. And I have a lot of fun memories with the original Smash. So please do it. It wouldn't be that hard. It wouldn't be that hard to properly license everything. I don't know what the issue is with this game. Come on. You're charging us extra money for this. Now, since I lost count of the amount of games here, I'm going to mention some honorable mentions. Let's see. Rocket Robot on Wheels. That's a game, I think. Pokemon Puzzle League. Oh, here's a fun one. Pokemon Stadium. That's never going to happen. Perfect Dark, Banjo-Tooie, Blast Corps, Jet Force Gemini, all those fun rare games. Killer Instinct Gold. One I didn't put on the list because I know it's never gonna happen. GoldenEye. That's never ever going to happen. As sad as it is. Now I know, like, Donkey Kong 64 is very likely, so I just put it on there. Gex. Mario Party, even though we have an upcoming Mario Party with 64 boards, like the original Mario Party with the minigame island would be cool. Mystical Ninja, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, the original Animal Forest, although that one is most likely never going to the West. Play Fighter 63 and a third. Mega Man Legends. Quest 64. You remember Quest 64? Worms Armageddon. Puyo Soon 64. All those fun games. Man, I love the N64. I know it has a lot of issues, like how blurry it can be, and the fact that it's like there has so many limitations because the games are on cartridges and all that stuff. Man, even though the system is as old as I am, like almost 25 years old I am, damn, I still have a lot of fun memories with the system, and I really wish that Nintendo weren't so stingy with which games they re-released for the system, or how insanely difficult it can be to emulate. I hope specifically the emulation of N64 becomes better, because it hasn't been for many years. I hope the games play good on the Switch. I really do. Now I know there's also Sega Genesis games coming to the service, but Sega Genesis has a lot of consistency with its re-releases. Well, except for Sonic Free and Knuckles, but we're getting that finally in a different form. But what besides N64, what other systems I want to see on the service? Like Game Boy Color, obviously, Game Boy Advance, Virtual Boy, from Sega, like the Sega Master System, the Game Gear, Sega Saturn, maybe. The Dreamcast, it's never gonna happen. Let's be real here. TurboGrafx 16, yeah, that's very likely. Neo Geo, maybe. I know there's a lot of Neo Geo games already on the Switch, so that's a big maybe right there. And I don't know. I don't think GameCube is ever showing up. It would be neat, although they would probably charge more money for that. So yeah, that's my short video. Penguintober 2021 is fast approaching, only a few days, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching, and have a nice day, everyone. See you soon.